God damn it, man. God damn it. God damn it. Israel just struck Iran.
Jesus Christ. Who's reporting this?
Man, what a liability that country is to the United States of America. Total liability, not an ally. Disgusting. Just as the United States was going to enter another round of diplomatic talks with Iran this weekend. Disgusting. I can't believe we're here again. And look, it would be so based if Trump said, you know what? You guys wanted to do this. We told you not to, and we want nothing to do with it. No weapons, no military support. Be on your way. But he won't do that. This country is controlled and owned by the Israeli government. It's just the truth.
Don't matter who did what to who at this point. Fact is, we went to war, and now there ain't no going back. I mean, shit, it's what war is, you know? Once you in it, you in it. If it's a lie, then we fight on that lie. But we gotta fight.
Iran has already retaliated with over 100 drones. This is in response to Blue State hitting 100 targets in Iran, including 6 top scientists and 3 top military leaders. And crazy as it is, Netanyahu himself says these operations will continue against Iran for many days.
Launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes.
So now we expect escalations to continue, and I believe Netanyahu is making unreasonable claims on purpose. It's because he wants a broader conflict to break out and to pull the United States into all of this. We're going to watch the news and see how this plays out.
If Israel wants to go to war with Iran, they should do it themselves without our military support, and that includes taxpayer dollars. Go do it on your own. Go ahead and enlist, baby girl. Go do your thing. But leave America out of it. Our men and women in our armed forces should...
America's greatest ally, they say. Israel's never fought with us in a single conflict. Here's a crazy statistic for you. More American troops have been killed by Israelis than have served alongside Israelis in foreign conflicts. That was a crazy statistic that I learned, so I'm just thinking, why are we supporting Israel? I want to wake up these people. I want to wake up the Christians. I want to wake up the people in America. I want to wake up the veterans. And that's why I took the trip, because I've known this stuff. And we can go further back into my childhood when I started waking up to the truth of Israel and the relationship between America and Israel. I started waking up to this stuff when I was in high school. And I wanted to know more about the truth of what's going on in the world. So I started going down these rabbit holes, and I started seeing all this stuff about Israel. And stuff like the USS Liberty, a naval ship that Israel attacked, a U.S. naval ship that Israel attacked, killed 34 Americans. Nothing happened. We didn't retaliate. Nothing happened. It just got swept under the rug. Things like that. Things like Benjamin Netanyahu pulling us into the invasion of Iraq, which we had no business being in. In 2002, he spoke in front of Congress testifying that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. That was a lie. We got that intel, that information from the Israeli government, and then we were sent to go do their dirty work, stuff like that. So I started researching this stuff and realizing, all the money we're sending them. And I'm thinking to myself, as a 15, 16-year-old kid, as a Christian who was told my whole life, we have to support the Jews, we have to bless the Jews, we have to bless the nation of Israel. And I'm looking at this stuff and saying, well, that's very contradictory. Why would we as Americans and why would we as Christians support a people that have attacked us, that have pulled us into wars, that have taken billions and billions, hundreds of billions of our dollars and giving us nothing in return?
How many nuclear weapons does Iran have as of today?
Right now, I hope none.
Okay, how many does Israel have?
No idea.
No idea? You were in the government. They don't tell you that stuff.
No idea.
Who do they tell?
No idea.
Do you recognize the hypocrisy of Israel having a secret illicit nuclear weapons program that it won't open up its doors to and won't talk about, and then lecturing everyone else in the region about nuclear weapons?
Absolutely not. You know why?
You talk about hypocrisy. If an Iranian guest came on my show and I asked him about Iran's nuclear program, he said, I don't know, I'm not going to talk about it. Would you be okay with that? You'd be outraged.
Of course,
and yet you sit here as a former minister of the Israeli government saying, "Oh, I don't know, never talked about nukes with anyone."
Because there was like 16 United Nations Security Council resolutions against Iran.
And there is against Israel. And there is against Israel as well.
About
your nuclear program.
No.
Yes, there is. UN Resolution 487. Let me read it to you. The UN Security Council in 1981 says, calls upon Israel urgently to place its nuclear facilities under the safeguards of the IAEA. Why haven't you done that?
Because
Iran has never attacked a neighbor. Israel has repeatedly attacked its neighbors. Iran signed the Non-Proliferation Treaty. Israel has refused to sign. Iran submits to inspection by the International Nuclear Energy Agency. Israel refuses to submit. Iran has no nuclear weapons, Israel has between 75 and 400 nuclear weapons. So Israel poses an existential threat to Iran. For the last 40 years, Israel has conducted a systematic campaign of disinformation about Iran. Why the lies? Why the double standards? Why the hypocrisy?
If you look at a map of Iran, we have 45 bases around their country, plus our submarines. The Iranians can't possibly attack anybody. And we're worrying about the possibility of one nuclear weapon. Now, just think about the Cold War. The Soviets had 30,000 of them. And we talked to them. The Soviets killed 100 million people, and the Chinese, and we worked our way out of it. And if you want to worry about nuclear weapons, worry about the nuclear weapons that were left over from the Soviet Union. They're still floating around. They don't have them all detailed. So we're ready to go to war. I say going to war rapidly like this is risky and it's reckless.
And he said, this is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran. About 10 days after 9/11, I went through the Pentagon, and one of the generals called me in. He said, "Sir, you got to come in. You got to come in and talk to me a second." I said, "Well, you're too busy." He said, "No." He says, "We've made the decision. We're going to war with Iraq." This was on or about the 20th of September. I said, "We're going to war with Iraq. Why?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "I guess they don't know what else to do." So I said, "Well, did they find some information connecting Saddam to Al-Qaeda?" He said, No. He says, "There's nothing new that way. They just made the decision to go to war with Iraq." He said, "I guess it's like we don't know what to do about terrorists, but we've got a good military and we can take down governments." And he said, "I guess if the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem has to look like a nail." So I came back to see him a few weeks later, and by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper, and he said, I just got this down from upstairs," meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today, and he said, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran."
The United States must get involved in this fight in order to protect the United States. God bless America. God bless the United States of Israel. God bless every innocent person.
So too do the brave people of Iran, and I have a message for them. Our fight is not with you. Our fight is with the brutal dictatorship that has oppressed you for 46 years. I believe that the day of your liberation is near. And when that happens, the great friendship between our two ancient peoples will flourish once again.
If we bomb Iran's nuclear program successfully, the first thing they're going to do is launch missiles. They're going to launch missiles at American bases in Iraq and Syria. They're going to launch missiles at American bases in Qatar and Saudi Arabia, or in Diego Garcia. They're going to launch missiles at Israel. Their proxies are going to launch rockets, drones, and missiles at Israel, Saudi Arabia, at American bases. That means Israelis are going to die. Americans are going to die. And it also means, because people don't think this way, the oil market is going to explode. Iran's proxies will bomb Saudi Arabia's oil fields. They've done it before. Iran's proxies will shut down shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, in the Red Sea. They will choke international shipping and the international oil trade. So there will be major military and economic ramifications if we bomb Iran. That's why I say we're then in a state of war. So what happens after we bomb Iran's nuclear program and then they launch missiles at all of us? What has to go next? We're then going to bomb their missile program. Guess where their missile program is? It's underground. Iran has missile cities deep underground. They have entire cities deep underground where they produce the missiles. And it's a huge country. So if we bomb their nuclear program and they hit us back with missiles, we're going back in to destroy their missiles. we're also going in to attack their proxies. They have proxies in Yemen. Their proxies form about a third of the security forces in Iraq. They have proxies in Syria that are at war with the Syrian government. They have proxies in Lebanon also. So we're not only now attacking Iran, we're attacking Iran's proxies in 5 other countries. Now we're at war in Yemen, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon. And Iran is major allies with China and Russia. The United States is currently involved effectively in proxy wars against those countries too. We're fighting Russia in Ukraine, and we're preparing to fight China in Taiwan.